in your spare moments, and we all have spare moments, you can just sit in the stillness that is. Most of our spare moments are spent in thought, eh? And in absorption with the mind. And it's pretty much wasted time, isn't it? It's all these thoughts, all these feelings, all these things going on. They really have no meaning. They really have no substance. It's just a constant wave, a constant movement, a constant churning that just goes on, and it doesn't go anywhere. And if you can observe this and see that, in fact, there is a stillness behind it all, instead of becoming lost in that churning, it's almost like an addiction, a habit that just doesn't serve you well, you see, because when you're involved with thought after thought after thought, you don't have a sense of peace. In fact, you have something else which causes discomfort. But in fact, the stillness is available at every moment, you see. So I think everyone here, as soon as you tune in, you know that silence, you know that stillness, you know that place that exists beyond all the thoughts, beyond all the movement, the actions, all the stuff that fills your attention when there's personal involvement in life. You know, these lives are just these fleeting little things that really only appear to have substance to the mind, you see. The mind is obsessed with itself. The mind believes in itself. The mind convinces you that its story is your story, but you're not a story, you see. Stories are just entertaining little short things. You see, you go to a movie, you see a story, and you enjoy it. You have a life, and it's just a story. But you know, stories, they're just entertainment. It's like you pick up a book, and there's a story. You read it and you enjoy it, you see. Minds love stories, you see, and then the mind makes you into a story. But you know, what is a story really? What is it? So, you know, you have a story that's like your primary focus. You call it your life, and you just are zeroed in on it. And it's front and center all the time. What you're doing, what you're thinking, what you want, what you don't want. What, you know, all of this is just this story, you know. You're not a story. Your life is not a story. Your life in a body, yes, that's a story. But the who that you are is beyond all the stories. And you can see the lack of substance in a story, that it's just entertainment. You see, there's something far beyond the story, which has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And, you know, there's stories that have been going on in bodies for many, many thousands of years. You see, even animals, they have stories too. And everyone lives in their story until the story ends. But in that silence, in that stillness, when the mind is still, you have moved beyond the story, you see? And in that stillness, there is no beginning, middle, and end. There's only a beginning, middle, and end to that stillness in terms of your personal awareness of it. But your personal awareness of it is part of the story. That comes and goes. But the actual stillness, you see, there was a stillness that was there before you perceived it with your mind. You see, perceiving it with your mind was an after effect, but the stillness is always there. So right now you can focus and just be and feel that stillness, but that experience of stillness is not what the stillness is. That's just your way of perceiving it. The body's way of perceiving it, but perceiving it is not really what the stillness is. The stillness is everywhere, all of the time. So really, you don't have to do anything to be there. But as long as you're personally identified, you have to put energy into just being. And then you have a memory, an experiment, an experience of just being. But I want you all to know that that stillness, that quiet is always present all of the time. And just remind yourself of this, because if there were any substance in this world, it would be in the stillness, in that silence. And reorient yourself away from all the movement. There's so much movement in your mind. The mind is like just a storehouse of movement. I mean, thoughts are movement, aren't they? They're based in movement, you know, and really the 99.99% of what's here is stillness. So see if you're able to, in your spare moments, remind yourself and rest in the stillness that is. And all of us have our days, and we have things to take care of. We have people to take care of. We have things to do, la-di-da-di-da. But all of us have spare moments. We all have some time where we don't really have to do anything. And what I'm suggesting is, in that time that you don't have to do anything, don't do anything. Just be. Don't be wandering around through the corners of your mind. It's unnecessary because there's so much more. You see, the mind, you've done this already. You found yourself lost in thoughts. You've found yourself in the emotions of the moment. You've done all this already. You know what that is. The stillness is something new to you. Maybe not new, but not as frequent as the movement. And you see, it's almost like all that's needed here is like an adjustment, a slight adjustment to your TV set, you see, where you're focused on the picture and the words and all of the actions of your show. You see, there's something else going on, like, okay, there's a show going on, but if you look around, there's an entire room of darkness and stillness and peace. And it doesn't involve all of the thoughts and all of the feelings that you get involved with. And when you catch yourself involved with it, just notice, oh, look, you're involved with it, you see. Let it come, let it go.